Wednesday, during a trial at the High Court Chamber of International Crimes, the prosecution began presenting evidence against Paul Rusesabagina. Yet still, the defendant did not attend the hearing. Rusesabagina faces 9 charges, which include creating an illegal militia, being a member of a terror group, financing terrorism, and acts of terrorism including murder, abduction, armed robbery, arson, attempted murder, assault and battery. On the first charge of creating an illegal militia, the prosecution alleges that Rusesabagina was one of the founders of MLCD coalition, which also formed the FLN militia, and the defendant was himself involved in it. The prosecution also relied on statements made by Rusesabagina outlining FLN's activities, alleging that in addition to waging war on the country, the militia group carried out terrorism activities such as murder, car burning, among others. On the second charge of belonging to a terrorist organization, the prosecution found that Paul Rusesabagina was part of MLCD FLN coalition. Evidence include telephone conversations in which Rusesabagina spoke to Twagiramungu Foste, claiming that his sons were on fire, referring to FLN fighters, pointing out that they needed help. Elsewhere in that chat, with the Lieutenant General Wilson Irategeka, the commander of FLN armed group, he asked Rusesabagina why he was sending money to unknown location, and yet he was about to send farmers to the field. The prosecution pointed out that this was a misleading phrase, which they used calling fighters farmers, where the field meant the battleground, and bullets were referred to as seeds. The telephone conversations were found during a house search at Rusesabagina's home in Brussels by Belgian authorities. They also found a bill of the purchase of 4 satellite phones bought in the UK by one Olivier, which would ensure safety of the users, including one sent to Nsabimana Kaliste alias Sankara, sent through DHL and found him in Madagascar. In their interrogation, Rusesabagina and Nsabimana Kaliste confirmed that the so-called black phones were intended for MLCD FLN leaders. On the third charge of financing terrorism, the prosecution alleges that there were 20,000 euros Paul Rusesabagina admitted during initial interrogations in the Rwanda Investigation Bureau to the prosecution, as well as during initial hearings in the primary court, that he had given FLN and also organized fundraising activities for the MLCD FLN coalition, and one Eric Munyamana would send the money to FLN. Other respondents, including Nsabimana Kaliste and the son of Lieutenant General Irategeka Wilson, Jacques Ritier Ndagijimana, who is also standing trial in this case, confirmed that the money was used in terrorist activities. The money alleged by the prosecution to have been sent by Paul Rusesabagina, including the money sent to Rwanda and was allegedly received by Uwimana Ngusi Agnes and Nzarora Pascal. The prosecution told the court that Rusesabagina's wife, Mukangamije Tatiana, sent money to Nsabimana Kaliste, who received it from Comoros, to buy a plane ticket and leave that country for security reasons. The prosecution, based on evidence from money transfer agencies such as MoneyGram, Western Union and Real Transfer, saying that the money sent from Rusesabagina or from MLCD leaders to FLN officials intended to support terror activities. In addition to Rusesabagina, the prosecution first explained the charges against Herman Nsengimana, a former FLN militia spokesperson. The prosecution revealed that Nsengimana joined RRM party in 2018 with the encouragement of its founder, Nsabimana Kaliste Sankara. Herman left Rwanda in 2014, where he was a teacher, moved to Uganda, where he later joined the FLN fighters in the jungles of DRC in the Rutshuru region. He was a member of the FLN from April 2018 to December 2019, when he was arrested by Congolese army FARDC. He faces charges of terrorism and being a member of terrorism organization. The trial of former FLN fighters and the affiliates of MLCD coalition, led by Paul Rusesabagina, continues on Thursday, with the prosecution presenting further evidence on the 6 other charges against Paul Rusesabagina. Reporting for RTV News, Athan Tashobya.